Hey, good Tuesday morning, Facebook friends. How we doing this morning? Warm day yesterday. We're going to stay with that warm trend once again today. Of course, we're keeping a watchful eye on Jose, and right now I don't think Jose is going to be much of a player in our forecast. We may just see a stray shower later on this afternoon and a little bit of a northeasterly breeze, but thankfully it looks like, at least for us, Jose is going to stay far enough out to sea that he's really not going to be much of a factor in our forecast. And of course, we've got to turn our attention to Maria, a major hurricane, got up to a Category 4 hurricane at this hour, so we'll be keeping an eye, obviously, on Maria here moving forward. Hey, Rodney, good morning to you. So let me take you to, and if you have any questions, just jump in and fire away about either our weather or what's going on in the tropics or what that could mean for us. Karen, good morning to you. Hey, Linda, happy Tuesday. So let's talk a little bit about Jose here. Category 1 hurricane. Hey, Nancy, good morning. I'm going to put Jose into motion here and watch what happens with Jose. You can see he just kind of pinwheels here out in the Atlantic and just kind of meanders. And this runs all the way out until Sunday now, when we're looking at Jose just kind of pinwheeling out there in the Atlantic. There's going to be some rough surf, obviously along the Atlantic coastline. I think particularly maybe the Cape Cod area could see some rough surf. Hey, Sean. Thanks, man. Good to work on having a good day today. I'm actually going to be filming a Cool Schools today. I'm heading out to Tri-Community Elementary, part of the Central Dauphin School District, which is over near the Enhot-Steelton area. So looking forward to that later on this morning. Hey, Melissa, good morning to you. Curtis, thanks for joining in. Okay, so there we see, just still kind of meandering here. And again, this is Jose. Not much of a player in our forecast, more of an issue for folks with immediate interest along the Atlantic coastline. For us, we're just going to stay kind of, yeah, there you got it, Nancy. No way, Jose. Jose, go away. But let's talk a little bit about Maria, because we're going to take you down here, kind of get your bearings here. Here's Puerto Rico, and you can see where Maria is. And I think, unfortunately, no, Curtis, I did not forget the cup. Never do, man. Maria bearing down on Puerto Rico. And bad deal for Puerto Rico. I think this is going to be close to a direct hit for Puerto Rico, especially eastern Puerto Rico, as a Category 4 or perhaps even a Category 5 hurricane. British Virgin Islands in big trouble. Just came over Antigua and Barbuda overnight last night. So Maria, ugly, ugly hurricane right now. And hard to believe we're talking about another major hurricane, but you can see the latest forecast model from the National Hurricane Center wants to strengthen Maria to a Category 5 hurricane. Sustained winds around 160 miles per hour. And then, folks, this is Puerto Rico. And it does look like the eye of Maria could pass directly over Puerto Rico. And that would be tomorrow morning, close to around this time. So that's the next thing that we're really going to be watching for. It's possible that Dominican Republic and Haiti managed to dodge a bit of a bullet here, which would certainly be good. And then Maria's going to take that turn. How familiar does this look? Maria taking this turn and heading up the Atlantic coast. Hey, Bernice, good morning to you. Melissa, absolutely. Unbelievable. Puerto Rico, of course, just went through it with Irma, and now here comes another major hurricane headed their way. So it is a bad, bad, bad scene for those folks in Puerto Rico. I'll show you the spaghetti plots, because everybody wants to know, of course, what happens with Maria once we get beyond her turning into the Atlantic. And this runs all the way out until Monday. That would be, of course, this coming Monday, 8:30, and Maria's still well out in the Atlantic. I will say this, at this point in time, hey, Lewis, good morning to you. Sean, thanks for checking in. At this point in time, most of the models do want to keep Maria out to sea. There are some models that want to turn her maybe a little bit more this way toward the Carolinas. But we got a long way to go to get from here to there. But I am encouraged, at least, by the fact that most of the models do want to keep Maria out to sea and not be a factor along the Atlantic coast. Now, I could be joining you again tomorrow morning and talking about a completely different picture. Bear in mind that all hurricanes need to be steered by another weather maker. So, anything can really happen between now and then, but there seems to at least be some model consensus that does want to keep her out in the Atlantic. And I'll back things up a little bit here, because I'll also show you. Watch this. Here are the model spaghetti plots taking Maria basically right over that eastern part of Puerto Rico before making that turn. So, big concerns, obviously, for those folks in Puerto Rico. also Dominican Republic and Haiti, although I do think that Maria will not be a direct hit for those folks. This close to Maria possibly making any kind of landfall in that Puerto Rico area. It does look like at least the eye wall of Maria will stay away from the Dominican Republic and Haiti, but not so much for Puerto Rico, unfortunately. But then we'll keep an eye on Maria heading into next week. Possible that perhaps she might give us some clouds or something of that by the time we get into next week. Hey, Carla, good morning to you. Yeah, I know, Nancy. Maria needs to definitely stay away. Hey, Pollo Imoni. Did I say that correctly? I had Spanish, and I know that Y means E. So, hey, good morning to you. So, yeah, for us here locally, though, it's just going to stay warm, folks. We're going to stay well above average. High today, I think, around 80 degrees. Just an outside chance of a stray shower, but don't let it affect your outdoor plans. Even warmer tomorrow, talking mid-80s and low 80s, really for the remainder of the week and heading into the weekend. So, fall starts on Friday. Definitely not feeling like it. We're keeping those 80s around. By the middle of next week, it looks like we'll be back down into the mid-70s. So enjoy it while we have it, because obviously we're getting closer and closer to October. Once we get into October, we really start to get some fall-like days. And by the end of October, by the time Halloween rolls around, we're talking about highs in the 60s, maybe only even in the 50s. So bear that in mind here, folks, as we just kind of enjoy what Mother Nature's throwing at us here. I know for some folks it's maybe a little too warm for this time of year, but it's nothing too outrageous or out of hand. We're not going to break any records this week, but high temperatures will be in the mid to low 80s. Hey, Misty, good morning to you. Katie, good morning. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, weather this week, I got to tell you, if you do have outdoor plans, it's looking pretty good. And hanging on to summer for a little bit. If you've got a pool and you haven't closed it yet, yeah, you could still use it here this week. Not really feeling like fall, more of a summer-like feel, and a little bit of humidity as well. Oh, also watch out for a little bit of patchy fog here first thing this morning. We'll burn that off just like yesterday and get into some sunshine later on this afternoon. So we'll be talking all about the tropics here coming up on CBS 21 News this morning. Quick update, if you saw last night, there was a really nasty accident along Interstate 283 in Dauphin County. Involved a couple of tractor trailers. We're going to have an update on that. I can tell you it does look like, and I don't know how this is possible, but it does look like, thankfully, it was not a fatal accident. I believe injuries, but at this point in time, we don't believe anybody fortunately suffered any fatalities in that awful crash last night along I-283. That roadway is open now, and does look like we'll have some good news coming out of that accident. So we'll join you in just a few minutes. Me, Sherry, and Al, CBS 21 News this morning. Join you in about 7 minutes here live on the telly.